So I didn't know that I was speaking until a few hours ago, and I had my little grandson with me. We were driving up from or down from Salt Lake, so I didn't really have a chance to think about what I was going to say. And then as I came in and as I've listened to you guys speak, what you said, so beautiful and so true. And so I didn't want to think about what I was going to say because I really wanted to hear what you were saying. And so I'm just going to have to speak from the heart, you know. First of all, I want to say that this year I have learned so much from all of you. There's a book that I sometimes read to students as part of self-care in the program called Inner Gold. It's by a man named Robert Johnson, he's a psychologist, and it talks about projection, and it talks about the importance of boundaries. It does it in this really beautiful way. But it also talks about how we exchange this thing called gold as a sort of alchemy, and how when we see something in someone that we like, that we respect, that what we're actually seeing is something that is a seed within us, and sometimes much more than a seed. And he says that our gold is too heavy to carry for a while. And so we'll do this sort of projection, you know, and we'll let this teacher, this mentor, this person that we respect hold this gold for a while. And then he speaks of the importance of giving that gold back and of recognizing the exchange and what's going on. And so as I start today, I want to first start by giving you guys your gold back. You are now my colleagues. You, in many ways, have also been my teacher. I've learned so much from all of you. This past year, I've learned even more deeply to see people for who they are in the moment, and how that can be different in each moment, and how beautiful that really is. And I don't think you guys know how, you know, like whether or not it's supposed to work this way, it has, and it does. And I want you to know how much you've all been a part of my healing process, and how much you guys all mean to me, and how much gratitude I have for you. So I hope that I've been able to give to you, but I want you to know, I don't know that part, right? I know what you've given to me, and I really appreciate that. Every spiritual teacher that I've read from talks at some point about how the only work that they can really do is work on themselves. This is the key to helping to mentor and heal each other. And there's, you know, I've spoken about this at other graduations too, but there's the tale of Nasrudin that you all probably know. I think I've spoken of it, where Nasrudin is like a 13th century Sufi folk character, and there's different, he's known as a wise fool, you know, and so there's all these different things. It speaks to a lot of things, right? Like it speaks to the wisdom of the fool, the beginner's mind, but it also, each of his tales talk about things that lead to really teach us to look within. So there's one story that's really told a lot. It was even portrayed in I Love Lucy, where Nasrudin is outside and he's under the street lamp and it's dark and he's looking for his keys, and a passerby comes and helps him look for the keys, and they're looking for a long time, and then the passerby eventually says, where did you lose your keys? And he says, I lost them in my house, but the light is so much brighter out here. And that seems silly to all of us until we start noticing how much we actually do that when it comes to healing, when it comes to inner knowing, when it comes to the ways in which we can verify through direct experience things that we then neglect to do and then look to the outside world so that they can tell us that we're smart, or we can be validated in some way. And it is never enough. It's never enough. You know, that validation, it's going to always come from within. The healing is going to come from within. You watch people like Oprah Winfrey go to some Ivy League school, and you know, someone who's done so much in the world and had so much professional success and personal success, and then they're bestowed with some honorary degree, and then inside they know that they still didn't graduate from that school. Or maybe they did. You speak to someone who's graduated from that school, and then you find out that they still feel that they're not enough. And so we look within to find out that we're enough. We also look within to find out where our healing really is. So forgive me for this, but if you're willing to, I'm going to have everyone just take a moment, close your eyes, and just observe what's going on in your body. What are you feeling? Just without reaction, without expectation. What do you feel? What do you feel in your heart space? Do you feel emotional type things? Do you feel things that you can't describe? Where do you feel tension in your body? Where do you also feel lightness? And check in with your breathing. Is your breathing deep? Is it relaxed? Is it shallow? And what you're feeling, how often do you feel this? This is where we look. This is where we begin to look for healing within ourselves. And it's really the only place it can be found. So this year, even though I've done massage for 30 years, this year is the first time that I spent time massaging myself in a really deep way, and really looking at my own healing, and really beginning to notice this thing I'd known for years intellectually, but had not spent the time experientially exploring, which is the only place you're going to find really true knowledge, right? And so, but finding this tension where it came from, waiting for Western science to validate me, to validate me somehow, to some study to show me that the mice, that when they smelled this and then they got shocked, that future generations felt it too, and blah, blah, blah. Direct experience is where you can know all of this, and you can know it right now. And so spending time with yourself, spending time noticing what's going on, spending time on your own healing, just like all the spiritual teachers who say they are doing this for themselves, and if anyone else wants to partake, they're there to support them. But the way to heal and heal others is to start with yourself and to look within and to feel what's going on, and to allow your body and your inner light to shed light on this and to help you to heal. There's a story about Gandhi. It's another one that you probably all have heard. These are well-told stories, but they're beautiful and they're worth telling again. But there's a story about Gandhi, and I actually did spend a little time looking, is this true? Is this a true story so much, And I don't know, So here's the story. Everything online said it's true. But my heart tells me, that this principle is true. Okay. So the story is that Gandhi, he was seeing people at his ashram in India, and there was a mother that traveled a long distance with her son and brought her son to Gandhi and wanted Gandhi to tell her son to stop eating sugar. It was bad for him. He was eating too much, Simple. It was simple. Can you just tell him this? We all know it's bad for him. And Gandhi said, come back in 2 weeks. And so she traveled this long journey back home. And then she's a faithful devotee, so she came back, and her son respected Gandhi. So she felt that if Gandhi told him this as his mentor, that he was projecting on, that he would then embrace it and would be healthier. So 2 weeks go by, the son and the mother come back, and Gandhi says simply, stop eating sugar. You know it's bad for you, And the son's like, okay, Gandhi told me. And so the mother was kind of a little bit perplexed, and she was a little bit annoyed, And she said, why didn't you this is so simple. Why didn't you just tell him sooner, And Gandhi said, 2 weeks ago, I was still eating sugar. And it's such important, I don't care if it's true that it really happened, who knows. But I do know that I've been able to verify through direct experience that's true in my life. I cannot ask any of you to do anything that I am not doing myself. It is completely ineffective. And wherever I'm at, I have to sit with it. I have to be honest with myself, and I have to work on my own growth. both physically, emotionally, spiritually. And this is how then we're able to, without difficulty, step up and be able to start to help others. And this year, I've watched you guys doing this. I've watched you all doing it. I've watched you embrace the challenges. Jay, I've watched you as you helped me so much. I watched you as you did Qigong when I said we're doing meditation, and you did meditation when I said we're doing yoga, and you did yoga when I said we're doing Qigong. And you know what? It was freaking amazing. And I sat with it and I grew. And this is true for every single one of you in your own way, where you were right and you are healing yourselves, and this helps you to be effective in healing others. So I have something kind of cheesy. I wasn't sure if I was going to give it to you. This is kind of from my childhood, this little thing, but I wanted to give you guys a symbol. This is not a particularly cool symbol, but some might even say, again, it's a little bit of a cheesy symbol, but it's meaningful to me. When I was a little kid, my family, we lived in Greece. We were military brats. We didn't have a lot of money. My mom had 6 kids in 7 years, and so we would watch these movies and I'm pretty sure I grew up LDS, so I'm pretty sure that these movies were on a little slideshow thing where you'd one beep, one side at a time, beep, beep, and we had movies that I think if anyone here is LDS, then maybe you'd recognize it. There was I'll Build You a Rainbow, there was Johnny Lingo, there was something Cypher in the Snow, and then we had Lambert the Sheepish Lion, which was, thank God. Okay, so Lambert the Sheepish Lion is about, if you guys don't know, about this lion that is brought by a stork to, it's a little old Disney film too, brought by a stork to the sheep. Have you guys seen Lambert? Okay, yeah. So Lambert, so super meaningful to me. I tried to get my grandson to get into it today. I even gave him a giant sheep that disturbingly had a bunch of little sheep. It was more of a marsupial sheep, bunch of baby sheep stuffed in, and I put what I'm about to give to you also inside. Had him figure it out. And anyway, so Lambert, he was given to these sheep. He really bonded with the sheep. It was cool, he could hang with sheep and everything. And but there were things that he was really different than sheep. He felt it. When they did headbutting, for example, he didn't do well in that. They made fun of the way that he'd meow instead of bah, and so on, and so at some point, Lambert, he's portrayed as actually feeling pretty okay, but he hadn't come into his own fully amongst the sheep, And then, do you guys remember what happens? One night, there's this, is it a wolf? Yeah, it's a wolf that comes in and starts attacking the sheep. Thank you, Leah. Starts attacking the sheep, and I'm needing your nonverbal communication right now. Okay, so starts attacking the sheep, and Lambert, something snaps inside him, and he becomes a roaring lion, right? And he saves his mama, Lambert, save me. And so Lambert wakes up. He spiritually wakes up. He physically wakes up. He fully comes into his own. All the stuff that's been placed on him, and not all of it was bad, but he just knew that something was a little bit off, and that there was more to his life than this. And so he woke up. And I think this year, each of you, I've watched, you guys are already amazing, but I've watched as you've gone through that waking up more process. And it's been an honor. It's seriously been an honor. And you helped me wake up too. So anyway, you have my deepest respect. I hope that you will always feel comfortable coming to me if I can help you in any way. And again, I'm going to give you guys each your little stuffed lion in just a second. Again, I want to welcome you guys as my colleagues. So it's been an honor. Thank you.